Hey.
Hey, Thierry, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
How are you, man?
Good, good, good. How is everyone? Everyone safe?
Yeah, everyone is good, thank you. We are here at home. We can go out sometimes, but it's not, it's not the best. How is it up there?
Almost the same. We have it bad here because Montreal is the most affected city in Canada. Um, but you have if you go out, you have to keep your distances and stuff like that. So yeah, just
Are you
just
training? Are you training or not yet?
No, not yet, not yet,
Not
because
yet.
some teams in the MLS are training, but the rules of this region of where we are doesn't yet allow us to train individually.
Okay.
So we're not doing it. Guys are training at home, trying to occupy themselves the way they can. As you know, it's better to be on the field, but it's also better to be safe. So,
Definitely.
what you doing yourself? Your family all good? Everyone good?
Yeah, everyone is good. Thank you. Everyone is good. It's hard for the kids because they have to be at home. They like to be out, and you know how they are. But
Yeah, yeah, I can
everyone.
imagine, but like I said, it's tough for
Yeah,
everybody.
of course,
But
100%.
let's be safe. That's the most
Definitely,
important thing.
definitely.
How do you occupy yourself?
No, I made a little gym here in the balcony. I put a treadmill, a bike, some things to do, for my legs and stuff. But yeah, apart from that, as you said, if you don't have a football pitch, yeah, you could do many things. But the football is the football. So it's not easy. But I'm working on things that I never really had time. When you play every 3 days, some strength, some agility and stuff like this. So it's not bad.
What what about cooking?
Yeah, one night I had to cook because everyone was tired, and I cooked fried egg. So still the same here. Here we are still at the same place as where this started.
Come on, man. You're telling me you can't do more than fried eggs.
Maybe I could do some pasta if I don't know. No, maybe yeah, maybe.
What do you mean you can't do some pasta? You just put them in the water.
Yeah. But
The
how do
most
you heat the
difficult.
how do you heat the water? That's the thing. That's where I don't want to make a mess.
Ah, you're crazy. How is everything? How was the season?
The season, it was a lot of up and downs. But yeah, where we played the good game before the game was the league was cancelled against Nice, against Patrick. I saw him. We spoke, and yeah, that was a good game to win. Though we lost, but we actually played well, and then everything ended. But as you know, we are out of Europe for one goal. If we had drawn against Nice instead of losing in the last minute, now we would be in Europe actually. So yeah, it's a bit
Yeah,
yeah, it's frustrating, but yeah,
that's
anyway.
that is actually annoying. Listen, I wanted to talk about something that I think people know about you, but I want to emphasize a bit more on it because I often get annoyed when people don't recognize how clever a player is and how your brain works. So it's very difficult sometimes to make people understand that because I'm not having a go at you, but you're not fast, you're not particularly strong. You know what I mean? I'm not saying people
Well,
will get the ball off
100%. I
you.
always say that
I'm just
myself. Yeah, of
saying,
course.
but your brain is ahead of a lot of players that I played with. I can say that. I played with a lot of players, but your brain is up there with some of the best players that I played with, and so
Thank you.
I played at Barcelona as you know, and you did. But what do you see in the field? Why it seems like you always have time on the ball?
I think, as you said, I had to work on it, specifically, on moving the ball quickly, playing one twos, because as you said, when you are not quick and strong, you always have to think quicker in a way, and I think that also made me react a bit quicker with my mind because, I was not someone even with a big agility either, so basically I had to rely myself, on playing quickly, trying to play smart, trying to play simple. And then on top of that, I grew up on, being decisive in terms of, giving the last ball. You know, obviously I was very lucky to play with great players like you and players that made it always easy for me, you know, to make the killer pass. But I think I grew on that as well, and that helped me, you know, to get more confidence on my game. And yeah, there was a peak at Arsenal where I was not slow, I could say, you know, I could have some good runs. I was getting into the box, but yeah, in general, when I was younger, I had to really work on it because otherwise, probably I would have never made it as a professional footballer.
That's. I mean, that's one of the first thing I remember. The first time you trained with us, and I looked at you and sorry. I mean, me too. I had bad haircuts when I was young. I still have a bad one now, but that haircut was pretty bad. In all fairness, mine was too. Let's all be honest. So I looked at you coming, and in those days the shirts were too big for anyone. In all fairness, they were just too big. Yeah. But on you, it looked like you had a dress on.
Yeah, it was very skinny.
It was just big, and then I looked at the boss. I said, "Who the hell is this?" And the boss was like, "Oh, it's the kid, I don't know if you watched the World Cup or whatever. I think, was it the World Cup or the Euro?
The under-17, yeah.
Yeah. And then I went, oh, that's him. Yeah, I heard he's like, you finished best player or top goal scorer or something like that, or whatever it was. I know you were up there with the best players of the top.
Both.
I said, yeah, I heard his name.
Because I was a year younger, so that's why maybe it was a bit
more. Yeah. So I remember people were talking about you, and so I saw you coming, and I was like, man, I saw the team, and I saw you were up Patrick and Gilberto. I went, oh my gosh, all the very best. And then you started to move the ball around. 1-2. People like Patrick and Gilberto couldn't get near you. And then that's when we knew, because we knew when he could play with us straight away. And then you went on to play, obviously, at the time, I think it was the Carling Cup, you scored. Mm-hmm. And then the rest is history. I saw it early. And sometimes people do not mention it. And people are rightly so talking about Kevin De Bruyne right now because the guy is an unbelievable.
Yeah, great player.
It's so unbelievable. But for me, you are there with those guys because the way you play, I always been attracted with players that are clever on the ball, and you're just for me one of the most clever players that I played with. Clever, using the ball is just crazy. I remember that day. I don't know. Do you remember that day?
Which one?
The day that your first training session.
Yeah, well, of course. And I remember as well. In that day, I made a tackle on Kanu as well.
Did you?
Yeah, on Kanu as well, and he was so upset with me. But that's the problem. Sometimes this is the good thing or the bad thing when you are young and you don't think where you are. Sometimes you just you're excited and you just want to go there and prove yourself, and you don't even realize, oh no, but I'm playing against World Cup winners here or something. In that moment, you just want to try to do your best, and sometimes the passion or the adrenaline gets the best out of you. But it's great, and it's nice to hear this from you because it's something that I always wondered how you guys used to see me when I was just like this, and I never really spoke to anyone. I had some comments and stuff from someone, but it's nice to hear that.
Listen, Cesc, at the end of the day, people, as long as you can impress your teammates and you can look at them in their eyes when you go back into the dressing room, and for me, anyone that can help me to win something,
100%.
It is amazing. But if the guy can come on our level and be a leader and have a brain and play the way you played, it was a no-brainer, and you played straight away. I wasn't the coach, but the way we were, the coach knew we accepted you straight away because winners accept winners. That's basically it. We're not going to go around winners accept winners. If you're not a winner, you got to go. Arsenal, then you went to Chelsea. I didn't want to talk about it, but then you went to Chelsea. Now, listen, there's something that I want to say. I left, you left. But I don't want to put you on the spot, right? But I know you're an Arsenal man. And
I will always be. I will always be. I never deny that in my life, ever.
But I want people to know because it's very important. Things happen, and I won't go into details of how you arrive at Chelsea. People in the game know how you arrive at Chelsea. But for me, I see you. When I think about you, I see you with a red shirt. I don't see you with a blue shirt. And I know some Chelsea fan might go, "Oh, come on, you won the league there and everything." I know, I get it. And well done. No, well done. You deserved it. But for me, you're an Arsenal man, and I know you feel like an Arsenal man. And I know it's very difficult for you because you played for Chelsea and won the league at Chelsea, won at Chelsea, and became also a legend at Chelsea. So, but I know you're an Arsenal man. And
No,
now,
100%. Listen, I would never have thought that I would have mixed feelings between these two teams ever. I would have never thought that. If you asked me that when I was 23, 24, even 6 months before I joined Chelsea, I would have always said impossible. But you know, you go there, you get to know the people, you get an understanding with the fans, and in the end, you win titles, you become important. You end up having so much fun and having, you know, so much passion and actually love for the club, and I will never deny that. But I completely agree with you. I mean, you never forget where you come from, and I know I come from my hometown and Barcelona academy and stuff, but who really made me, you know, be on the spotlight on playing football at the top level where I always dreamt of, it's obviously Arsenal. And you know, this is something that I was so lucky to play, you know, not to play but be with you guys on the with the invincible season, learn from you guys. I always said that I was so lucky to come in at that moment because I had only to see at you, Patrick, Saul, Ashley, Dennis, Robert, Freddie. This is unbelievable, you know. And then I was managed to captain the club, and they gave me so much leadership. They gave me basically everything that I needed to prove myself to be a top player. And definitely Arsene, of course, has so much to say. And I always said, and I think with you the same, that we have a little bit of the same story with him, because he took us, you know, in moments where, and he made us, you know, the players we are in terms of, you know, he always let the players do what they feel, you know, in terms of playing football. And
yeah.
I think it's great for players like you and me that, you know, we always like to do our thing. We don't like when, I don't know, maybe I'm talking for you as well, but I think when I've seen you play for so many years and I played with you, and I know that you like, you know, to be in your comfort zone, sometimes go a little bit on the left, sometimes, you know, be on the middle making runs. But you knew, and Arsene was really good at this because he let the player have their instincts. You know, now sometimes you see a lot of teams well positioned, you
Yeah.
know, every player in their positions, and I think that helped me a lot. And in a way, as you said, I will never deny that I will always be an Arsenal man in my heart, because you know, as much as football have so many turnarounds and stuff, you know, where I started, I never forget. And the connection with the fans either, it was so special. I mean, I've
No,
never felt loved anywhere else as much as Arsenal, and as well at Chelsea.
no, it is. Like I said, it is a tough one for you to talk about because obviously you became a Chelsea man after, and it's a bit weird to talk about both teams like that. That
Yeah,
you kind of
I
have
try to do
a
it
good team.
naturally, and I always try to be honest. And
Yeah,
you know, I always said I never, no one can ever hear me say anything bad about Arsenal. And when we played against Arsenal with Chelsea and we won there, and then, you know, and we won the league, and sometimes I celebrate the goals. You know it
oh
as
yeah,
much. You know,
it is where it is.
some
You're a
people
competitor.
kill me, and you know they want to, but you understand. People
Yeah,
understand
I
that
do.
in that moment, you know,
I
I
do.
would do anything for Chelsea to win, and that's what I
It's
did,
normal.
and proud of it.
You're a competitor. Listen, uh, who? Because I don't think I asked you that ever, or I know that. Who was your favorite player growing up?
Growing up, I used to look up to Guardiola, Pep, and
Oh,
to Figo, Luis Figo.
Luis Figo. But why?
Yeah,
That's not your position.
I know, but he was unbelievable for Barcelona at the time. You know,
Oh
when I
yeah,
was
but then you
growing
was at
up,
Barca. Yeah, you were there.
yeah, that's why
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah,
why.
yeah. I forgot.
You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I really, and you know, I really loved players like Romario as well when I was young, Laudrup. Uh,
Oh, that's for me. I thought you were going to say Laudrup because of how
yeah,
you
he
you
was one
played
of
and you
them.
saw him play.
Oh, amazing.
because
And
Michael Laudrup for me, and I
he
say it
was
all the
the
time,
10.
and I keep,
Guardiola was the 4.
yeah,
Guardiola
yeah,
was
yeah,
the
yeah.
4. He was the 10. So yeah.
It was, it was just, it was the original. I keep on saying to everyone, the original fake nine,
Yeah, exactly.
kind of
For sure. He
playing
was
there,
moving
and then
around there between the
Stoichkov and
lines.
Romario
Oh,
or
he was
Begiristain,
sensational. Yeah.
whatever. No,
And
it's
he
true.
had
That's what it
that
was.
last pass that he had was incredible.
No,
His last
Laudrup
pass,
was just.
his vision was something else.
So let me ask you a question. If tomorrow you have to do a 5v5, you're the coach. Who will be the
Okay.
team?
Ooh.
Guys that you played with.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, I need a goalkeeper. No, as much as I'm an offensive coach, but I need a goalkeeper. No, what? Or can
Well,
I
if you
play
have
with
if you have the ball, you can play with
yeah?
you can if you have the ball, you can play with the
That's
player.
why I don't want I don't want to be bad two goalkeepers. I'll pick a goalkeeper anyway. I think for what we experienced together and the big moments that we have with each other and what he made me and Spain win, I think I would have to go with Iker because we've had so many amazing moments with Spain that he was just incredible in big moments. I know you scored a lot of against him and stuff,
No, no, no,
but
no,
no,
no.
no. But I don't know what you think, but I think Iker in important moments, in key moments of those
Yeah.
moments that everyone say, oh, this is history, or this is, oh my God, everyone remembers. He's got so many, and I think I have to go for him. By the way, you're up front, definitely. I don't even
Oh,
have to
thank
say
you.
that
I don't.
because I will always put you on my all-time 11, 100%, and I always said it, and it's recorded
No,
on
it's because I used
old
to put
interviews.
your
Because
assist. I used to put. I used to make your pass an assist. That's why you're saying this.
of course, but this I'm very grateful for this. And
You know the best one you gave me
which one?
for me, the one against Liverpool at home because we made eye contact. You remember that one? I was
The one where
backward.
Carragher tried to, yeah,
That one.
he thought he
'Cause
had it. Yeah, yeah, that was amazing.
we made eye contact. I pretended to go on the wing, and then at one point I went, and then we caught eyes. I love that one. Carry on. Sorry, I cut you.
No, but this is true. I mean, this is the what we were saying about before, connecting, with players and a little bit having the same understanding of football. Then I would have to have Lionel Messi there, 100%, because I think between you and him, we would score a few goals. Casillas is the player who will save them, and I have to say, this is a player that I think in England everyone talks about him now, and he's gonna leave the Premier League very soon. But I play with him since I'm 16 years old in that World Cup under 17 actually, and it's David Silva. I always had this understanding with him. Don't ask me why. These players that sometimes they don't talk about. Oh, they are the best in the world, but I had a special feeling with him. And then we grew up and we played the World Cup under 20s as well. We played with the under 21. We had a career, especially with Spain. Growing up and then winning everything together. And, like Iniesta and Silva, these are the two players that I always felt, wow, I'm enjoying so much in midfield. Like you can pass the ball, you can move. They have the intelligence to know that when I go forward, they will come deep to get it. You know what we were talking about? You don't need to be in the same position. You can change because other players are intelligent enough that they will fill the hole for you. And I just love that. I mean, Iniesta and David Silva, they have to be there for me. I know I'm not playing with any defender, but I don't really care, and I will just go with one goalkeeper that will save everything, two magicians in midfield, and two what can I
Listen,
say? Two goats up front.
says, obviously I work on TV and I kept on saying it. What Man City did and are doing and Liverpool is doing is amazing. And whenever I had the chance to talk about David Silva,
Hmm.
for me, it was, listen, Vincent Company was very important. Kun is very important. Yaya Toure was very important to the change. The guy that arrived, the young arrived. A lot of guys
Yeah,
arrived that people
yeah. When they
forgot
made
about.
the change, yeah,
But David Silva,
yeah. He's probably the most important out of them. I mean, it has to
He's
be
not playing this year.
between him and Kun for me, because Kun, he scored in
Yeah.
so many finals like he really is. But David Silva made, I mean, he holds the team sometimes, I feel, you know.
He reminds me of what, people also don't talk too much about Xavi, but Xavi
Oh,
had that
another one.
impact
I mean,
also on team where he he does make everyone gel. And David Silva, that's why I think this year they're struggling a bit for me. Because David Silva, obviously, you're not going to be at your peak all your life,
of
physically
course.
and everything. But for
No,
me, this guy, David Silva is just unbelievable. For me, personally.
no, 100%. I feel the same. That's why he's in my team.
let me ask you something, because I personally thought that was not disrespectful, but with what you did with Spain, right? We were also successful, sorry, with France, not as long as you guys, but none of you won the Golden Ball.
No,
As
that's true.
much as listen, we cannot say anything bad about Leo Messi
Hmm.
and Cristiano Ronaldo. Hey, there's nothing to say.
Mm-hmm.
But one of those years, especially when all of you guys were playing at Barcelona or Real Madrid,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you're kind of winning almost everything.
hmm.
I
Yeah.
just, I just, what did you guys think without having a go? I'm just saying, what did you
No,
guys
to be
think?
honest, we never really spoke about it seriously, and we had so many meetings, meetings like friendly meetings before games, and we always talk. We used to before every game we had this thing in Casilla's room where we
Room.
used to eat croissants and stuff like that. We used to meet 12, 13, 14 players, and every night before a game. This is for years, years, years. And we used to talk, and sometimes maybe you made a little comment, but really, you know how you know Xavi, Andres, they are not really
I
this type
know.
of players, so we don't really know. But me personally, if you ask me, understanding the and you know what Leo means to us, to me,
No,
to everybody. I mean, you can never take anything away from him because
no.
he's just unbelievable. But maybe in 2008, no, because Barcelona was coming from 2 years, where they didn't really win anything, and maybe okay, you can take that one even if we won the Euros. But yeah, between 2009 and 12, those 4 years, especially someone like Iniesta who made the difference for you guys at Stamford Bridge, and so many iconic moments, and scoring the World Cup winner against Holland in 2010. If there was a chance, that was the chance for them
But that's a lot of years.
to
That's
win it.
4 years of a chance.
Yes, yeah, that's 4 years of a chance, and I think Leo won them all. No, then
Oh, I think it was, anyway, it
yeah,
was between them two. This is not,
yeah, no, no, no.
this,
I'm just saying that it's curious that after all we
I
did together.
I just all the time, and again, those two guys are just outstanding. There's nothing you can say. I mean,
Mhm.
nobody can talk about them or even be at their level. But I just thought if I was a Spanish player, I was like, winning matters. Winning matters. And some of the balls I got some years, and still didn't get the. Anyway, I
Yeah,
was just
100%.
wondering what you guys were thinking.
Mhm.
You
No,
know,
to be honest, this is very personal because, as I said, we didn't really talk about it much. But it's a personal opinion that definitely, I think they are already. If you spoke to them, they are so happy already that they got into the final. I mean, three of them. Were you there when this happened? When Leo won it, Iniesta second, and Xavi third?
no, no.
That's maybe the year you left, and it
Yeah,
happened the
that's
year
that's
after,
that's
maybe.
2010. I think that's 2010.
Yeah, and
That's
this
when you guys
happened.
won the World Cup.
Okay, so it happened after just
Yeah,
straight
yeah, yeah, yeah.
after the World
And
Cup.
I
Yeah.
was already gone. That was I left, and then
Yeah.
it's after.
It
It's
was an
always in
iconic
December.
picture. I remember, three guys from La Masia standing
No,
there with the
I mean,
Ballon d'Or, the second and the third. It was
no,
like
no,
an
no. But
incredible
listen,
picture.
listen. I mean, if we start to talk about La Masia, then we're gonna need another 25 minutes. And so, because at the end of the day, people always talk about Barcelona and say, yeah, but it's easy. They have stars. No. When I went there, you had maybe 12 to 13 players from the academy at a club like that, dominating football,
Dominating
world
football,
football.
correct. Dominating football.
And you have the three guys from La Masia in the Ballon d'Or trio.
It's
This is
incredible.
that's why I say, and I go back and you will understand what I'm saying because we can't stay too long. I wish we had another 25 minutes, but the brain is the most important thing.
100%. And I don't know if you
And
feel like it, but sometimes I see football a lot now, and I see a lot of physicality. I see a lot. It's like the coaches, the first thing they think of it's, oh, this guy is strong. He can run for 90 minutes and stuff like that. And sometimes I look at it and I'm not sad or anything, but it's like, well, we're losing a bit of something that I experienced during all my career. I don't
yeah,
know.
but
There is something that I think sometimes
yeah,
is
but
missing.
says it's normal because you've been educated like that.
Mm.
You've been brainwashed like
Yeah,
that.
I agree.
And the way you were, you had to do it also. But I agree with you. And I'm actually sad when people like do not think about trying to develop the brain of a player instead of using his attributes right from the
Yeah,
start and then just when he cannot do it anymore, move him on.
correct.
You know, your I mean, if we start to talk about that, we're gonna have to start to talk about La Masia, the philosophy of Barcelona, and first and foremost, talking about the brain, the cognitive aspect of the game, learning how to control the ball properly with your left foot, your right foot, making sure you control the ball with the furthest leg away from the guy to play on the opposite side. But
But
then we go,
yeah,
yeah, but
we would stay here for 1 hour, but it's so important as well. It's like,
it is important, and for you, you know it. The
Mhm.
ball is coming on my left. I play with my left. What's the point to form a triangle? People always talk about a triangle. If you attack, the point will allow you to go forward.
Uh-huh.
And when you defend, the point allows you to cover the two that's going to go and put pressure.
Mhm.
But not a lot of people can explain why do we do triangles.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. It's so
They're
true.
like, oh, we have a triangle, let's play. No, but why? Because if you have a triangle, you play, the other guy here can join the point.
Correct. You
And
always find the
on the other
holes, the
side, the
empty
guy that,
holes, yeah. The empty
but,
spaces, yeah, for sure.
but you've been explained that since you're 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's
Yeah.
why when you look at you or the guys at Valencia or the guys at Real Madrid or whatever, uh, that's why when you play with Andres, you play with Xavi, and you play with David Silva, you connect because you're on the same page. You're reading the same book. Do you understand what I mean? It's like oh, a guy
Completely,
at my level
completely.
can to anybody, but you're like, oh, a guy that
Yeah,
understands.
I agree that we were spoiled in a way in this case. In this, yeah.
Well, but
But
sport, yes and no, says because you guys worked. Because at one point, Spain wasn't winning anything. Barcelona started to struggle. Real Madrid, I remember in early 90s, started to struggle also. You guys reinvented yourself. So well done.
yeah. No, and
Then,
then the great example that I always put, and it's one of those days that you always remember when we won the second European Championship on 2012. We played with 6 midfielders, and
no,
I
but
don't know
yeah,
if you
but
remember. And that
says,
day, that day as well made me see that, wow, intelligence is so important. Like, because we're playing without striker and we're winning 4-0 to Italy in the final of the Euros with 6 midfielders. That day, I was like,
says,
this is something else.
listen, you were on another level. You could have played with 11 midfielders. If you keep the ball and you pass it well and you move it well, there's nothing you can do. You won 4-0 that final without a striker against Italy. It was just football at its best. I was watching the game. I'm like, you know what? I think I would have kicked someone because what do you want to do? It's like one goes high, one goes low, but the other one makes a run. David Silva makes a run, you drop. This guy off, and then
Correct.
Xavi and Andres keeps the ball. You move up. David Silva appears from behind. What do you want to do? And Jordi Alba comes with his motorbike. What do you want to do? You move there. What do you want to do? I always say, choose your poison.
Mhm.
Choose your poison. Either way, it's gonna come. And you guys were on top. That's why it's true. That's why I keep on saying. I think it's a shame that team didn't get an individual reward. That's all I'm saying.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
At Arsenal, which one was the best goal? I've seen all your goals, obviously, in documentaries, and I experienced myself. But which one is the one that you would like choose for yourself, that you say, oh, either special or the best? I have one in mind, but I want to see.
Well, it depends. It depends, sis, because I said the comeback goal. You know, when I came back to play for against Leeds for
Yes,
Arsenal,
yeah, that had a big meaning, I guess.
it was weird because I scored the goal as a fan. You know, it's like I never had the chance. You played for Barcelona because you were a fan when you were young. You went back. It's different. You know, it's different. But and also the meaning. It was kind of weird because I came back with number 12. That's my number, actually. 14 is not my number. I took number 12 because number 14 at Arsenal because Christopher Ray had number 12. So I didn't want to take it off
Okay.
him. That's me. I didn't want to take it off him. So that's why when I came back, number 12 because of Marco van Basten at the Euro 88. But you have to understand, I scored 12 minutes to go on the clock. 12 minutes to go, 78 minutes. That was my 12th game against Leeds, my 12th goal.
Okay.
I'm already number 12, and we just passed. We were just turning into 2012.
No way! I never knew that.
So,
Incredible.
Yeah. So that you know what I mean.
I was in Barcelona in my sofa that day watching the game because I never missed really any Arsenal game, and I was with my best friend. I remember, and I said, "Man, he's scoring! I swear." I remember that day. I said, "He's going to score. It's destiny. This is going to happen." And when it happened, I swear, I remember I was jumping. Oh, it was.
It is weird, and I think for the first time, you know, I used to be all moody or upset. You know me, a bit weird. But on that one, I think the whole stadium had the same explosion. It was kind of weird. If not the best goal for me is the goal against Liverpool at home to make it 3-2, because like I said to you, for the first time I felt the stadium breathing. You know, like I could see that people couldn't breathe.
I was there. I was at Highbury. Yeah.
And then, you know, it was kind of weird. It was kind of weird.
Oh, that's amazing, man. Well done, well done.
Big man, we're gonna have to go because I think that
it's a shame.
The big man is waiting for us. I could speak to you forever. I could speak to you forever. You know that.
He's another great player. He's another great player.
Yeah, he is the brain. Love it. That's what I like in the game. So, big man, be safe.
Thank you, Thierry. Thank you so much. I had so much fun. Hi to the family.
Yeah.
Take care. Stay safe, guys.
Bye bye. You too. Bye bye.
Good luck, man.
Adeu.
Adeu.
Hello. Hello. Good.
Okay.
Hey, I can see you're letting your beard grow like me.
I mean, I was just
yeah. It's kind of now better.
Okay. I was just watching you and Cesc, and I was thinking, how am I supposed to go on with this beard when I'm watching you two, man? For God's sake.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. I'm getting killed by everybody, but I don't really care.